Bangkok is sold to the world as a city of wonder, where temples glow in gold and street food tastes like magic. But behind the hype lies a harsher truth that few travelers ever speak about. For every perfect rooftop cocktail photo, there are hours spent trapped in gridlock traffic. The reality of Bangkok is that beauty often sits next to frustration. Travel influencers showcase tuk-tuks as charming rides. Yet most visitors discover quickly that those rides can lead straight to scams. The city thrives on contrast, but not all of it is beautiful. The cracks in the image begin to show as soon as you arrive. Bangkok's reputation as the ultimate travel hub makes expectations skyrocket. That sets many travelers up for disappointment the moment real life collides with fantasy. Temples rise into the sky like visions from another world. But step outside their gates and you find chaotic streets, relentless vendors, and pollution filling the air. Some tourists never admit their disappointment. They don't want to be the ones to say the unthinkable, that maybe Bangkok is overrated. The first blow usually comes from the traffic. Hours are wasted in jams that drain energy before the day even begins. Motorbikes dart in and out like swarms of insects. The noise is relentless, the pace suffocating. The air itself becomes heavy. Smog stings the eyes, exhaust fills the lungs, and the shine of the city dims quickly. For travelers expecting a paradise, this comes as a shock. The chaos is not an occasional inconvenience, it is the rhythm of the city. Markets that look vibrant on social media often feel overcrowded in reality. Tourists shuffle shoulder to shoulder, fighting the heat and the noise. The famous floating markets have lost much of their authenticity. Many have become staged attractions filled with souvenirs rather than real trade. Food is another point of contention. While Bangkok street food is legendary, not every plate lives up to the hype. Hygiene is questionable at some stalls. And while locals may thrive on the flavors, sensitive travelers often end up sick. Hotels also play into the illusion. A 5-star lobby may dazzle, but the moment you step outside you are confronted with poverty and chaos. The contrast is shocking. Luxury and hardship exist only meters apart, and not every visitor is prepared to see it. Nightlife, one of Bangkok's biggest draws, carries its own disappointments. Prices soar for tourists, scams run rampant, and the glamour fades quickly. Curiosity leads many to infamous shows and bars. But more often than not, they leave feeling cheated or uncomfortable. The sense of being exploited grows stronger. The fun is overshadowed by the nagging suspicion that you've been played. Bangkok is not cheap the way many expect. Rising prices and tourist inflation mean the budget paradise image is fading. Taxis refuse meters, tuk-tuks overcharge, and tours double their rates for foreigners. Visitors feel the sting of the tourist tax everywhere. Yet for every complaint, defenders argue the city is still worth it. And that's where the mystery of Bangkok deepens. Love and hate exist side by side. The city overwhelms first-timers with its energy. But the same energy that excites also exhausts. Bangkok doesn't apologize for being chaotic. It demands that you adapt or be left behind. This leaves many tourists conflicted. They came chasing magic and left with frustration. The divide between expectation and reality is wide. And once you've seen both sides, you can't unsee them. Some travelers call Bangkok unforgettable. Others vow never to return. But few speak openly about their disappointment. Admitting it feels almost like breaking a taboo. The city's marketing is too powerful. The glossy images drown out the complaints. Yet in the corners of travel forums and hushed conversations, the truth emerges. Bangkok is not for everyone, and many quietly believe it's overrated. The moment you land, the contrast begins. Glittering billboards promise paradise while the streets outside reveal chaos. The airport transfer feels smooth until you hit traffic. Suddenly hours vanish before you even reach your hotel. This is Bangkok's rhythm, always moving, rarely efficient. For some, it's thrilling. For others, it's exhausting. The city's energy hits like a storm. Neon lights, roaring engines, endless chatter, it never lets you breathe. At first, it feels electric. But soon, it begins to wear you down. Markets promise bargains, but the truth is more complicated. Tourists are charged more, and locals know exactly how to spot newcomers. Bargaining becomes a game of survival. The charm fades when you realize you are always paying more than you should. The famous tuk-tuk rides feel exotic on Instagram. In reality, they are loud, dangerous, and often end at special shops designed to empty your wallet. Tourists laugh about the scams after they happen. But deep down, many leave feeling cheated. Even temples are not immune to disappointment. The beauty is undeniable, but crowds and constant upselling can strip away the magic. Some visitors admit the temples blend together after a while. Gold, incense, and crowds blur into repetition. Bangkok nightlife sells itself as wild and unforgettable. But the truth is, overpriced drinks and shady practices sour the experience for many. What begins as curiosity ends with regret. The stories tourists tell don't always match the glossy ads. Street food, another highlight, reveals the city's contradictions. For every unforgettable meal, there is another that makes you sick. Hygiene varies wildly from stall to stall. Some kitchens sparkle, others operate in near darkness with questionable practices. Even luxury dining comes with its pitfalls. Overpriced authentic experiences often cater more to tourists than locals. The phrase Bangkok is cheap grows less true each year. Rising prices leave many wondering if the city deserves its budget travel reputation. Accommodations follow the same pattern. A glossy website may hide a hotel struggling with noise, pests, or poor service. This inconsistency creates frustration. You never quite know what you're going to get. Bangkok is unpredictable in ways that charm and irritate equally. The chaos is part of its identity, but not everyone wants that. The poverty seen in backstreets is another side tourists rarely talk about. Slums sit in the shadows of skyscrapers, a jarring image most weren't prepared for. Some travelers feel guilty about enjoying luxury while locals struggle. Others simply turn away, pretending not to see. The inequality is too stark to ignore. It leaves many asking if the beauty of Bangkok is built on an ugly foundation. Even locals feel the strain. Rising rents, crowded trains, and pollution make daily life harder each year. Tourists see only a fraction of the struggle. The rest is hidden behind smiles and hospitality. This hospitality, though, can sometimes feel forced. Many workers depend on tourism, even when it drains their patience. The smiles are real, but not always natural. Behind them lies survival. And so the question grows louder, is Bangkok truly worth it? Or is it simply a place where the marketing has outpaced the reality? Defenders argue the chaos is part of its charm. Critics argue it is simply chaos. The truth likely sits somewhere in between. Bangkok is magical for some and miserable for others. Its contradictions are what make it unforgettable. You cannot separate the beauty from the struggle. This is why some call it overrated. The expectations are too high, and reality bites harder than expected. Others argue it is underrated, because only those who embrace the chaos truly understand it. Bangkok doesn't care which side you choose. The city will overwhelm you regardless. It doesn't ask for your approval. It demands your energy, your patience, and your resilience. That is why so many travelers leave conflicted. They love what they saw, but hate what they endured. They post glowing photos online but whisper complaints in private. The image is curated, the truth is hidden. Bangkok thrives on this duality. It is built on contradiction, powered by illusion, and sustained by hype. And perhaps that is its greatest trick. To be loved and hated at the same time. For every tourist who calls it overrated, another calls it life-changing. And both are telling the truth. Because Bangkok is not one thing. It is everything at once, brilliant, frustrating, dazzling, and disappointing. It will test your patience, shock your senses, and exhaust your spirit. But it will also etch itself into your memory forever. In the end, the answer depends on you. Bangkok is not overrated or underrated, it is simply unforgettable. And that may be why travelers keep returning. Not for perfection, but for the storm only Bangkok can provide.